Okay, it looks like I am alive, which is a good thing on Saturday morning. And this is going to be a little project where I help a Habitat for Humanity chapter in Minnesota. I actually helped start the Habitat chapter here in Chattanooga, Tennessee in 1986. And I was the construction coordinator and volunteer coordinator for a couple of years while we got permanent staff, and that was a fun time. I'll do a video on that sometime. But what they wanted help with was doing new graphics for their manual, their construction manual. You can kind of see here, these are kind of grainy. And so what they want me to help them do is just provide new drawings for these graphics. And I hope I'm going to be able to do this. This is a bit different than what you would normally see. This is more of a graphic art than it is drafting. So we're going to attempt it though, and this first video will be a test, so to speak. I've set up several styles. I like to draw in this style where it looks like a landscape and it's not so bright. But when you start printing on paper, you want to go to a different style like this, where it's, everything can just be black and white or whatever. So I'll draw this way, so I'll go snowblind. And I'm going to use my Medic extension. Now I may have a few hiccups because I just got a new laptop, thankfully, after 4 years. And I've had to reinstall, all my extensions and software. So I'm just going to start off with this and hopefully it'll work. You're saying you should have tested this first, right? Let's see, interior bearing. I don't have any of those. So this is an extension by Medic. His name's Nathan Wilkerson, and he's been really helpful. He actually provides these extensions to me as a in return for making videos, but he really doesn't have to do that because they're so helpful. I'm going to pick. What I've done here is I've laid out a basic rectangle that I think is about the same proportion as that graphic. And since I'm a weirdo, I like to use the golden ratio on everything. I secretly implant that in all my designs. So 24 feet by 38 feet is a good one. And it's a common for affordable homes. It's sort of for smaller homes. It's a typical dimension. So we look at our extension here, and I've got. Well, first of all, let me see if anybody's said hello. No, but that's okay. That's all right. I am going to try to keep up with the comments. But if I look at my extension here, I've got stem wall thickness. I want to make it 8. This is in Minnesota, and I'm assuming that they're going 4 to 6 feet in the ground, probably with their foundations, and it's going to need to be at least 8 inches thick. And I'm going to go ahead and, based on this graphic, it looks like it's in the ground about 4 feet and it's sticking up about 2 feet. So I'm going to make it 6. Let's see, 6 stem wall height. Okay, so got to pay attention here. That would be 72 inches, whether it's in inches or feet. Footing width, I don't think I was going to show the footing, so I'm not going to worry about it. Well, we'll go ahead and there would be at least 20, well, it would be probably 36 up there. Footing depth would be at least 12. Ricklage, no. Interior forming, no. Let's just see if we can get this started. I can always come back and edit this. Let's see, anchor bolts, yes. I do want the anchor bolts. Crawl space vents. They don't show crawl space vents, so I'm going to say no. Joist pockets, no. What's that? I forgot what that was. So we're just going to say okay. Oh, this is your reinforcing. They're not showing reinforcing. So I'm just going to leave this as it is. It'll just be hidden inside the wall. And then anchor bolts, here we go. We're going to say they're probably 12 and ½ inch washer. Now, for some reason, this extension uses these square washers, and we use round ones, but I think that's a minor detail. Bolt spacing, ours are required at 4 foot on center, so I'm going to assume theirs is. Sill plate width 5.5. Sill plate thickness, that sounds right. Corner, yeah, distance from corner. Your anchor bolts have to be within 12 inches of the corner also. So let's just see what happens, and boom, I like it. I love it. Thank you, Medique. So you can see though, this is kind of cool. I mean, they may do this up in, the thread looks kind of funny. I need to probably see if I can adjust the height, but they may do this up north. Maybe they have these square washers. I don't know. We use round washers here. It's not a big deal. I'm not gonna complain about that. After I was just able to get an entire foundation drawn for me just by answering a few questions. So I'm going to do a little section here, and I'm going to show you why it's going way over there. That's funny. It's doing a section of the JPEG too. That's weird. I'll show you the steel bars. Here's the bars, and there's one at the top. But you can set that as a grid, basically however you want it. Excuse me. And then I usually go in and turn off these annotations. Foundation, global foundation, global settings, and annotations. No, I don't like any of the annotations. If in construction documents in SketchUp, we do that in another software called Layout. Foundation label, no. Foundation callouts, no. And I've just installed this, so I have to go back and set all this the way I want it. And save settings, close. Okay, so I'm probably gonna have to regenerate this. Edit steel wall, update. There we go. You saw the foundation annotation go away, because I want the fellow that I'm helping in Minnesota, he's going to provide the annotations in the graphic. He just needs the graphics. So now the goal would be to see if I have any questions. Hey Ryan, noted I'm having a hard time with my new monitor. I've left it at a higher resolution than my old one, so now I'm like an old man. I have to look. First person in the chat. Well, thank you. If you have any questions, just leave them there, and I'll try to answer them. But I'm helping a habitat chapter in Minnesota with some new graphics for. And I really loved my time with Habitat. I'm going to delete my helping to start that. That was really actually an honor. I'm going to go in here and turn off my axis model, because model axis, let's say it in proper sequence, and then update that. And I'm going to do that in both styles. I don't like that. You see, this is, if you had to work with this style right here, it would be very bright on your eyes. So I usually draw in this one, and then I print in the other one. And I want to get rid of our little SketchUp girl. I do have SketchUp Pro 2020. So now I'm going to draw some ground, and I wish there was a way to turn off. I wonder if there's a way to turn off the footing. Oh, you know what? There is because, uh, oh shoot, I didn't go in here and set my, if I can update that, my global foundation, my global settings, layers. Oh shoot, I screwed that up. Maybe I can regenerate it. They do a good job of with layering and layer names. There's a bunch of them, unfortunately, and you have to deal with that in your drawing. But in the long run, it's pretty cool. So I'm going to turn that on. Save settings. I'm going to see if I can regenerate this and see if it will create. Oh, look at that! It did. Cool. Honestly, that's awesome because now I can go in here and rebar. And you really don't need, honestly, don't need a lot of these, but I'm not going to complain. I thought I could turn the footing off. No, that's the concrete. Oh, shoot. Well, what we'll do is we'll set us up a, I don't think he wants to show the footing in there. It's not shown in this graphic. So what we'll do is we'll set us up some ground, will just be a big sheet, a big rectangle that will, let's get it on the right plane here. Let's just grab that. We'll just get it on the right plane. We'll grab some, make us a big old rectangle, and then we'll make a group out of it. And I probably should have made that bigger, because what I'm going to do is set up a view. Now I'm going to raise that up so you can't see the footing. There we go. That's kind of how he has his set up, like that. Now if we're looking at, now see, you can see that line. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to edit that. Just make it really huge, because that's not going to take up any room at all. That's not going to create any kind of huge memory issue. Now let's see if I do it. Yeah, now I can zoom in and do a view where you won't be able to see. Let's go back to our other style. Why is it not changing styles? Oh, this needs to be, the face needed to be reversed. That's weird. So here we go, like that. Now what I want to do is get it to where, it was in kind of the same angle as that. So what I need to do is get it. Now the other thing I need to do is I need to copy this. I want to make sure this is big. Let me check for comments. Are you going to do more shooting videos? Yes, I am. As a matter of fact, Mantis sent us the new X10 Elite, and we're going to be doing a video on that, and that should be fun. I'm going to do it with a shotgun because I haven't used it. Well, we're going to do it with a shotgun and a rifle. I've only used the Mantis stuff, Mantis tools with pistols. So we're going to set up. I'm going to copy this, and I'm going to make another grade up here. Let's see. So I'm going to have to. The only thing is I'll have to cut out. Yeah, I'll have to edit this one and cut out that square so you can see the lower one. There we go. See, that'll give that effect of, let me get back out of that now. That'll give us that effect. that they have, like that. Now the real test is going to be, to answer your question, Ryan, yes, we will, but I have to make money to support those projects because we don't have any Patreon supporters, or I basically have to fund my own shooting. I have to fund YouTube through projects like this in my construction business and my drafting business because we honestly, just to be perfectly honest, we don't get a lot of support from the gun community. So people like, uh, Iraq Vet 8888 and all those bigger channels obviously get the support. And they're good at what they do and they deserve the support. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying small channels don't get the same support. So I have to fund it myself. Now the point here is that is getting close, and I don't know if he wants to keep this shading. So this will be a test. So I'm going to try to set up a view. You can see though already it looks like it's going to be better because this is really grainy looking. And now I don't know if he wants these arrows on here in mine, or if he said he would do the text. I don't know if that means he can do those arrows or what. So this will be a test, and it'll be a back and forth. And the reason I'm making these videos also so he can watch them and he can say, no, turn that. I may even be able to get him live with me and then he can just kind of say, no, turn it a little more like that or like that or like that. You see there's all these options. Oh, thanks, Ryan. Keep up the good work. Thank you. I appreciate that. So, yeah, we do obviously I'm a firearm lover and Second Amendment lover, but I have to pay bills too. Let's bring in another style, and there's one called Hidden Line. Where is it? Hidden Line, there we go. That's a bit drastic. So let's go back to our model. What we may be able to do, I don't know why this is not showing up. I think I need to edit this one so that the ground is not a color, or let's see, edit. Let's make our profiles warm. See if I think that's probably going to help. I don't know. Let's see. Maybe we should leave that 2, and then if it becomes an issue, back color. Let's make this. This helps make this lighter. No, that's the back. That's this back color. So the only problem is going to be that's different. What I may have to do is just send him some different styles. And that's the thing about YouTube. SketchUp. You can set up all these multiple styles. It may be that if this line is not drawn the way he wants it, I can put a line in there. Like if this edge here is not showing up. And I don't understand that right there. Why I can't get that to line up on that face. There we go. Then I can just draw another line in there. And this is not wanting to cooperate. Yeah, that's weird actually. So I may just have to do things like that to get, the way he wants it. Because you want this background to be white so that when you're printing it, when he pulls it into, you may have to just put it in an editor and change this color like that. So I think what I'm going to do is send him this and then see, we would test it. And this will be the next test, would be to see if I can get the export quality up. 2D graphic. I don't really have, the only options I have are the file type. Let's try PNG. I think that's supposed to be. Let's go to, so we're going to call this foundation test 1. And then we'll export it. And just looking at it, so let me change the style now. And that doesn't really show up very well. But if we go in and now edit maybe make our profiles, there we go. That might work. That's an option. I'm going to have to keep up with how I do this, though. I may have to make notes on what I change. So I'm telling myself right now, if I'm watching this later, this is the hidden line profile or style with profile set to 1. And then we'll go in here and we'll export 2D graphic and we'll call it test number 2. And if these are high enough quality, then we will go back and put more information in. I don't want to spend a lot of time on this if, I don't want to go through all the trouble of putting all these other features in and then it not be high enough quality. So the other thing I should do is set up a view. Oh shoot, I didn't turn off model axis in that. Where am I? Here we go, model axis. See, that axis is kind of annoying. But what I can do is set up a view now so that I can return to that and be consistent, because if he wants me, so that was a mistake, because the next time I do this, I won't have the perfect, same exact angle unless I set this up right here, these scenes. So I'm going to call it, let's see, where's my, here we go, foundation, and we'll call that, you see, and then it'll show up here. And then I can save it. The other thing I can do, it just occurred to me, is I can save a style per, like I can call this foundation HL, hidden line. I just figured out how to save myself a lot of grief. So I can call this foundation hidden line update. Then I can change it to this other style. So that's, I can tell you right now, that's going to be too dark. And that this is how I work. I work with so I can see my materials. And then this is going to be too, I mean, just looking at that, I can tell it's going to be. So this may end up being the thing, but see, now I can work. If I'm working along, I'm working. Now I can click on my scene and I can go back to that style and check to see how it looks. And that way, as he is looking at, as he's getting me to make corrections, I can be consistent on how I send him images back and forth. Any other questions? Hello, Drio. How do you pronounce that? Drio 179. So if you're just coming in, I'm helping Habitat for Humanity in Minnesota do create new graphics for their manual, their construction manual. And so this is where the other thing I can do is set up a view. He's got this one view right here where he's showing them, if you can't see it, it's so grainy, how far back to set the plate. So what we could do is go in here and set up a layer, go back to my working view because it's easier on my eyes. We could actually draw a plate. We could draw a floor system using our Medique. This might take a little more time, but let's see. Let me see if I can do this because I haven't set up my defaults yet. Floor truss, lumber. Well, these would actually be a floor truss, yeah. And then, okay, go to here, there, and everywhere. Let's see if I can do this. Out to out span, bearing, bottom chord, bearing, okay, top chord. I noticed in their graphic they use top chord bearing trusses. Let's see if we can reproduce that. Bearing length. That's going to be 8. Honestly, I didn't know you could do this. This is cool. Okay, that's awesome. Depth in inches, I would say these are going to be at least 24. Chase opening, chase location. Why is that not 12? Am I missing something? Chase location, feet, should that not be in the middle? Ribbon cutting, what's that? Ribbon cut. Some of this I may have to edit panel length. Okay. Building length, truss spacing, 24, gabling truss. No, we don't usually do that. We can see what it looks like though, just for the fun of it. Gable stud, spacing, and Vantech, yes. Or advanced, yes. Sheeting, yes. I might as well just go ahead and show you the feature of this Medique truss. This is another extension they have. 3/4 inch, yes. Sill plate, yes. Yeah, this is what I'm trying to get to right here. This sill plate, huh? Yeah. All that just to get my sill plate. I could have drawn it, but I was going to show you. I wanted to show you. Okay, so I'm going to raise this up. It thought it was going to go on the ground. It's going to go right here. And I thought it was going to put a sill plate on for me. Oh, you know what? This is bizarre. And I'm getting sidetracked. But I was just going to show you. This shouldn't be, if you have a top bearing like this, they should actually leave out. We should actually leave out the gable end trusses. But we're getting sidetracked, so I'm going to undo all. I just wanted to show you the features of some of the Medique extensions. They're pretty cool. Good luck on the project. Thank you. Thanks, Ryan. Dr. Leo. Oh, I got it. I was saying earlier, my new laptop, I haven't changed the resolution yet to where I can see Dr. Leo. Okay, I thought that was an I. I need to set the resolution. I need to set the text larger. It's a little tiny right now. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to draw. I'm going to quit being lazy. And I'm going to draw I'll show you how I normally would do it back before I had extensions. I would just take and make a big rectangle. And then I would offset that. .5. And yeah, and then I would delete this interface. That's funny. And then what I would do is I would grab it and get where I can just grab that. Let's see if I can just grab that. And then make a group out of it. Then I can edit it. I think yeah, 1.5. There you go. And now all I have to do is make it look like a treated plate. And I have some materials I think will be close. Wood. This one. And it's kind of weird because the grain changes, but you know, it's just a graphic representation. And so that would be your mud seal. If you're not familiar with construction, that would be your treated plate you would put down on top of the foundation. And that would be what your floor system attaches to. Okay. So the reason I'm bringing that up is he has this graphic over here that shows a line, you know, where they're placing a line. I don't know if he actually wants the plate shown or not. What I'll do is I'll show him the plate and I'll have a scene set up. I'll add a scene and I'll call it mud seal. I like to call them rat seals. Some people call them mud seal. Depends on what part of the country you're in. And we'll do kind of a close-up. What we'll do is and I'm going to turn off this, I'm going to turn this style back to this hidden line. That's kind of it's really, it's kind of generic looking, isn't it? I don't know. Anyway, keep it moving, Tony. Let's create a layer called mud seal, or yeah, because I created my own. Well, it would be floor. This is how I do mine. I do floor, wall, ceiling, or I do foundation, floor, walls, and roof, and that's my layer convention. So this would be floor, then mud seal, and something else might be floor, floor joist or something like that. But what that does is it groups all your floor framing together. So if I'm going to have a convention, I might as well be consistent. Let's go back to this other style. And so, I don't know. The thing about it is, I think what he's going to tell me is just to turn off. You know, there's no way to get to where you can see, you know, see that that's a wood plate. Again, you have to keep in mind you're trying to print this in black and white. I don't know if he wants color or what. So I'm hoping you'll watch this video and then see. So I need to kind of keep the video shorter. So all I'm going to do is go up here and put this in that layer, floor mud seal, and then I can turn it off like that. And maybe what I can do is do one I'm going to do one mud seal. You see, I got to get my act together here. I got to get that, and I gotta get that. You see, and I'm going to say update that, and then do another one, another scene with mud seal 2 or something. Mud seal, we'll call it color or something like that. Just something to be able to remember it by. And then, or I could say style 2. It doesn't matter. And I put it back on this, and maybe, maybe just for that one little graphic, I think I'm going to show it to him like this as an option. You see, there's a million different ways you can do this, and that's part of the test, is trying to get it. I guess basically looking at his graphic, I've talked myself into going back to here and turn off the mud seal, and just put I don't like how the hidden line leaves edges. Like there should be a little, it's not, it's like it's not showing like where this, what is it about that? It's not showing where this bolt is, is entering the concrete. That's annoying me for some reason. And I know that's part of the style, but I'd like to see a little, edge or something. I'd like to see that, in there. It's almost like if I took this, well, see, I get distracted easily. I'd make a good squirrel dog. But what you could do is go in here and go 5.5, and then get this view set up, where, or you could draw a dashed line. That's one. Come back here and do it far enough to where. And I can call that layer. Let's see if we have any questions. Do you still have your Arsenal AK? I actually sold that. A friend of mine talked me out of it. He made me an offer I couldn't refuse. But I am getting ready to build. I have a kit that I bought from G-Webs. G-Webs from gun websites a while back. I bought a kit, and I want to build it. All I need is the receiver for it. But let's see. I want this to be, let's see, I'm going to call it dashed line. And I'm going to make it a dashed line. And I'm going to put this in that layer. And this will give him an idea of, if I go in next, oh, it did not like my name. I can't use dashed line. Dashed line. Okay, so that's kind of small, so let's make it a big, or let's make it even bigger. That's the biggest dashed line I can get. So what we'll do is I'll say, this is what I can do for the dashed line. You see though, it's weird. I think he's probably going to be able to draw a dashed line himself. You see, this is where it gets into when you start trying to print things for manuals, books. Oh, wait, I know what's wrong. I need to delete the construction line. It was interfering with it. That's what's wrong. I was going to say this is what you get into when you're trying to create graphics for books. It's a whole different world, you know, and it's just a whole different art form. If I was if I was drawing this, I'm going to update this before I lose my view here. If I, you know, if we were doing this for construction, we'd have a view like this. You know, we wouldn't, and it would be parallel projection, and you would print it out on a drawing, and you would dimension this. That's all you would do, but you wouldn't get into all these views, you know, these perspective views and all that. So let me do I'm going to do a mud seal test. Export. Now, I wonder if there's a way you can control the quality of exporting graphics. That's something I need to research. Mud seal test 1. And we'll export that. And we'll go from there. So I think what I'm going to do is stop it here, and then let me get back to my normal editing mode. And I'll see what he thinks about all this, and we'll go from there. Oh, thanks, Ryan. Yeah, it's a nice one. I forgot, honestly. I think it's a Yugoslavian. I can't honestly. I bought it from him a long time ago to support one of his road trips, and I just haven't ever put it together. But since I sold my Arsenal, my SAM, what was it? What were those M7s? But anyway, the Arsenal was awesome. I mean, I had an AK-74 and an AK-47 Arsenal, and they're just awesome rifles. And but I had a friend who made me a really good offer on them, and I couldn't refuse it because it was actually more than what I paid for it, because I had kind of customized it. I had refinished the stock and all that. So anyway, I don't want to do too much gun talk in a habitat video. They might fire me. So anyway, I'll end it here, and there will be a part 2 to this, because I have actually like 12 graphics I need to create for them. And so if you're interested, follow along. Thanks, guys.